Welcome to episode 2 of Branding Series. Today we are talking about Starbucks.
The name Starbucks came from, I think, the founder's favorite book, and he just picked a character out of the book called Starbucks. So if you're familiar with Moby Dick, Starbucks is a character inside the book.
So it was actually originally named Pequod, I believe is how you pronounce it. That was a ship's name, and they realized that nobody could understand that name. It was just like this awkward name, and so one of the main guys on the ship, his name was Starbucks. So they were like, we're gonna change this. So Starbucks coffee, tea, and spice initially, and then it was, I believe it was in the, I don't remember exactly what year.
It started in Seattle.
Correct. It started in Seattle in 1971. Obviously, there's the original Starbucks there that we all know very well.
Yep.
And it had the brown logo to begin with, which brown's such a flat color, and it's not a great logo choice. It's a very passive color. So unless you're doing wood or something like that, it's not that grabbing color. So that was our initial color, which is really interesting.
So how did it evolutionize into this
So it's
princess fairy?
It's a mermaid. So there's this Greek mythology that the mermaids would actually call crew in, if there's a shipwreck or whatever, they would be able to the mermaids would call these people in to save people from shipwrecks, right? And so they obviously, it's from this whole Moby Dick thing, right? And they wanted to have the two-fin mermaid. The whole same concept, how they wanted to call in the crew, just the same way they wanted to call people in. It's they wanted to call coffee lovers in from everywhere. So they had the same concept. So they went through this interesting branding process where they had the brown and they changed it to green. People were really annoyed they changed it to green because obviously it's their favorite thing. And they did a slight name change. But if you look at the logo, it hasn't changed that much from the last several years to what it is now. It's just massively simplified. And now it's just a mark. It's not even the words, it's just a mark. They don't really have a typeface that's super, connected with the logo. And it's one of those brands that is one of the most recognizable brands out there today. And they have done so well, and it's so simple.
And I think it's interesting too, when you look at an entire brand, I think a lot of people miss this, it's not just a logo, it's not just the story behind it, but also how you play out as a culture. I think it's become almost like a fad to drink Starbucks. Starbucks might not even have the best coffee, according to some of the connoisseurs out there, but it's just a symbol of hey, it's cool to drink Starbucks, and it's become a worldwide phenomenon. It's also done such a good job with the culture aspect of the company, and you get that consistency. No matter where you are, you can be in the Tibetan mountains in India, and if you go to Starbucks, it's still that consistent smile, and also their quality of service, I think. It's a character in a book that we read as kids, but they remember Starbucks, they relate it to coffee. Yeah. No one goes Starbucks and relate it to Moby Dick.
The brand has really evolved over the last several years, and even with the booming coffee industry, it's still stayed pretty consistent. Thank you, Austin Morton from Springfield, for sending in your brand for us to evaluate. As a real estate agent, I know it's definitely really hard to separate yourself, and that's kind of what we're gonna go over today.
So we just want to kind of dive into a little what Rachel and I see, and one of the big things is I know Keller Williams have a really strong brand, and in Springfield I know Murney has a strong brand as well. But at the same time, you have a lot of realtors under one brokerage. So really, besides your picture, for you to really stand out, I almost feel like you need your own logo. So it's really distinguishing yourself away from just all the other realtors within that brokerage. So.
Yeah, and I'd even taken a step deeper, and with real estate or any type of one-on-one B2C type of connection, it's so important to take a step back and make sure you're establishing really strong relationships. Like, how are you being to your customers, you personally, and thinking about that? Like, am I developing really strong relationships? Am I developing a personality with these people? And setting it apart in that way, and then going into design, and then going in, how can I take my collateral, because real estate agents do have a number of pieces of collateral, right? And there's a lot of them that look similar, a lot of them look a little bit different, unique, but it's so important to know like who you are and how you are connecting to your people.
And I think that's what distinguishes how unique you are too, is because it, like you said, it's such a relationship-oriented business, and for you to really set yourself apart, that's about the only thing that makes you different. Because at the end of the day, you can buy a home from any realtor or sell a home, but what sets them apart is either your knowledge or the way you do things and your customer service. And I think in real estate, I think personal branding plays a big part too. Absolutely. And I think it's a popular term right now, having a personal brand. I think that's important.
Yeah, so one other thing is, for real estate agents, like, don't get too caught up in like maybe even the design, but think even more deeper into the messaging. That's really powerful.
That's really good.
So when you think about when you send an email, how can you send an email to where it's going to really connect to that person? Whether it's putting exclamation points in there, smiley faces, or remembering that they just got a new puppy, or whatever it is. It's like adding those personal connection pieces. That's what's going to separate you at the end of the day. It's not a perfect logo, a perfect design. It's really going to be the relationships that you build. So, for real estate agents, for B2C, if you're going out there building your own personal brand, highly recommend build it from a relationship first standpoint, and then start adding in those collateral pieces, and it's going to be much stronger. Thank you again, Austin. It was awesome to take a look at your brand and evaluate it, and kind of dig deeper into even real estate agents and kind of what they face and how to separate you guys. So thank you.
Hopefully, gave you some valuable tips, and put it to use. Right down below, hey@j29creative.com, and we would love to evaluate your brand and talk about it in the next episode. We look forward to hearing back from you. Like this video, feel free to share it as well, and we look forward to talking to you.